Hey guys, what is going on here? Today I am back with another video, and today I am up in my bedroom, and yeah, it's kind of hot in here. Jesus Christ. So today what we have is a gift from my the best teacher ever. Well, this is what I would call her, Miss Harriet. Well, no, her name is Miss Harriet. Well, I think she's the best teacher in the world because she gave me this. She gave me this video is going to be called the ship bag. So it's called like this. It has loads of stuff in here, and she gave me it because she went to the Titanic Museum in Belfast. So she gave me loads of things, leaflets, what's on the Nomadic. This is what the museum looks like. A Nomadic postcard, a family trail, what it used to be like back then, and a thing of keyrings that she gave me. So Miss Harriet, if you're watching this video, you are the best teacher ever. Okay, so first of all, we'll start off with the Titanic family trail. So this is Nomadic one. This is the Titanic one. This is the Nomad. You can't even see it. This is the Titanic one. This is the Nomadic one. So this is what it looks like on the Titanic. So that's a maid. That's a cat, which is obviously not on it. That is a boiler room worker. That is a seagull, which is not on it. That's Captain Smith. That is like a lady on it. There is a boy, like a third class boy. Dogs were actually on the Titanic, and a scuba diver. I have a keyring of him. And guys, while I am getting my school bag, actually I'm going to take you down to get my school bag. And don't worry, my brother is playing Fortnite, not Fort. Full space night. Mama, can you get my school bag? Well, keyring my school bag. We got them. Okay, so guys, my mom is getting my keyrings for my school bag. So while we done that, I showed you all the people on the Titanic. Now people on the Nomadic. It's an army person. That is like a first class girl, and also this is a first class girl on the Titanic, second class girl on the Nomadic, army person, first class boy on it, and yeah. And guys, my mom brought the keyring, so I'm going to save that for last. So yeah, this is it. And also there's things in the back of this. This video is going to be about 40 minutes long. I don't know. This is it here. Quick read at that. If you want to pause the video, you can and have a look at that. So yeah. The next one is the Nomadic postcard. The SS Nomadic. The self-steamer Nomadic. Titanic Museum right there. And yes, it's a postcard. Palmer postcard. So it's a nomadic thing, nomadic leaflet on Belfast. So this is what the Nomadic looks like. So if you ever go to the Titanic Museum in Belfast, and across the road from it is a Titanic hotel. So this is what's on the Nomadic. That's a bridge deck where, this is the place, where the steering wheel is. That's the stern. That's the bow. And on this deck, on the upper deck, this is probably my favorite deck, and I'm going to point out loads of things to you. So there's the only toilet on the Nomadic is on upper deck is the bow in the upper deck and the stern in the upper deck. This is where the bell is, where like the dinner is. This is a lift. This is all kinds of stuff here. There's a toilet and there's a disabled toilet. Here is just a normal toilet. And also on the lower deck now, we're kind of heading to like the rooms. First class right there. First class, second class, third class. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah. So there, that's all about the Nomadic. So let's read on the back of that. Actually, how about we just don't, because there's loads of words there that I just don't understand. Yeah, no words I understand at all. So let's do into the junior guide now. If you guys been to Epcot before, it kind of looks like the patterns on the Epcot like golf ball. So yeah, junior tour guide about the Titanic. As you can see, Titanic Belfast. Okay, so I'm gonna read it to you guys. This is what it looks like. So this is probably going to take about 20 minutes long because I'm such a bad reader. Okay, so, well, I'm okay. Welcome to Titanic Belfast. Come and explore the real-life story of Titanic. Visit the 9 galleries of this wonderful building. You will discover the largest ship in the world was designed and built launched more than 100 years ago. You will learn a lot about her maiden voyage. It is a very sad end, but your journey will not stop there. It will show you what happened after the Titanic sinking, through the discovery of the wreck, into the future with undersea exploration. You are for an exciting and a dramatic visit. We hope you enjoy your time at Titanic Belfast. So that was that page right there. I'm reading it as fast as I can to you guys. Well, I'm not reading it as fast as I can, because if I was reading it as fast as I can to you, I'd be like, I'm speaking a totally different language right there. I was speaking a totally different language, so move on to this page right here. Have a good look at it, because I will be reading on it. So, what it says is... we don't have to read about that bit. It's just like a little thing about it. You are walking along with Belfast's busiest streets in the 1900s. At the time, the city was a world leader in many industries. The main ones were lining and engineering of the course shipbuilding, which was a noisy place. It was Belfast, the fastest growing city. The British Empire, its most population grew by 4 times in then 50 years, 100,000 to nearly 400,000 in 1910. Many people to the city to find jobs and help to make this town very successful. I have dyslexia, which makes like your words very jimbly, like it makes it like move about. So yeah, so the next page will look like this. Reading this one first, and I'll read this one. Did you know that Belfast has the largest shipyard in the world? William Paré was in charge of Bruce Ismay was the chairman White Star Line one day. They came together, shaking hands in the deal to build the 3 largest cruise ship in the world, the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic. Can you see? These 2 men are welcoming you at the gate of the Harland and Wolff shipyard. So the Britannic, the Titanic, and the Olympic all sank to the bottom of the oceans. That is very sad. It's a really just like dreadful like thing to hear. All those White Star Line ships have like sunk, or just they've sailed back and they just get used into other things to make another boat. And that's why I'm very happy that the Titanic's little sister, Nomadic, is still alive and wealthy at the Titanic Museum in Belfast. And guys, I am not looking at that little dot right there, which you guys are facing me for. I'm looking right there at the iPad, so if I'm not facing you guys, sorry. I feel better like when I'm like looking at the iPad. So I'm just looking at the little dot right now, but now I'm just gonna look at the iPad. So, and now I'm gonna read this one. We raised up a big open lift to the top of the Ariel Grande. This is a huge, complicated crane under which Titanic was built. As we ride together, suspended within the shipyard, space discover how Titanic and famous slipways were constructed. Did you know that ships have massive foundations? They are called the keel. Have a look at how big the ribs of the vessel were positioned. Watch the detailed work involved in riveting and paddling as we pass beside the giant rudder. And remember, enjoy the ride. So, if you didn't know, well, I knew it. There was 3,000 workmen on Titanic. They were building it, and 9 of them died, which is really sad. And this is a truth about the Titanic. So when they were leaving, a fire became on the Titanic, and then they put the fire out eventually, which weakened the hull of the ship. And when it hit the iceberg, that's the exact spot that got weakened by the fire. And then Titanic just slowly went down in the icy waters of the ocean. Anyway, let's stick with this. Okay, so these are the pages. Okay, so let me read them now. Now look out of the building straight down the slipways. Both Titanic and Olympic sank, and watch historic footage of the ships. They are presented on large glass paneling. Look out to Belfast. Although this is how Titanic would have looked sitting in our slipway view. We really have a good idea of just how big the ship was, but people must have felt a bit disappointed when Titanic was launched on 31st of May, because 31st of May was 1911, because it was just an empty metal shell with no funnels. If you don't know what funnels are, let me get a picture of the Titanic really quick. Where can I actually have a picture of Titanic in here? Okay, so, oh no, that's a leaf. Did I show this leaflet? No, I didn't show this leaflet, so I can't show this foot. So, okay, so guys, what am I picking up actually? What am I actually picking up? Okay, so, this. She got, like chimney right there, like that black bit right there, but it's like yellow down there. Titanic had 4 funnels. So this is what it looked like with no funnels. Okay, so I'm going to read this bit now. At 12:13 p.m., William Peary gave the signal to launch the ship. Within 62 seconds, Titanic was free of the slips and had glided carefully into the water. Great anchors had been driven into the bed of the lagoon to stop the ship once she was in the water. The accident happened during the launch. James Dobbin, a shipyard worker, was hit falling timbers. He was taken to the Royal Victoria Hospital but died shortly afterwards. That is very sad, guys. Very, very sad. As you can see, I'm kind of tearing up. Well, I'm not tearing up, but because none of this is actually really sad to me. Like, I don't find this sad. So, yeah. So, this is what the next page will look like. Oh, there's a better view now. This is what the funnels are. See how there's like 4 like yellow, like 4 across there? And in fact, there's only 3 funnels working. They actually put 1 more funnel on just to make it look safer. Okay, anyway, let's not talk about that. Empty shell Titanic did not have far to go. Only a few hundred meters from the slipway. Just enough to fit it down, especially built by Thomson Dry Dock. Here the funnels were added. Find out how clever the engineers were, how skilled the craftsmen were. To travel on the Titanic was being like a huge luxurious hotel. You can visit Thomas Dry Dock and Pump House not far from Titanic Belfast. You can see a model of the ship split into halves. One shows it launched, the other shows it sailed. Brilliant. There are so many details. Okay, so this is moving on. The maiden voyage. There are many travelers on ship's maiden voyage, and we're about to get to know individual passengers and what's life on the Titanic Belfast, and is now departing from Southampton, southern England. She will call at Cherbourg, northern France, Queenstown, Cobhith, Cobh. I'm just spelling it like that. Southern Ireland, and then we'll sail across the Atlantic. Everyone looks happy. All is fine. Suddenly, everything changes. Feel the temperatures drops, and tragically, magnificent ship will never complete its voyage. Images, lights, sounds help us remember, respect those sad last moments as the Titanic sank that night. A calm, starry night, and we're hearing Morse messages, that, coming off the ships. And then the tragedy of the striking the iceberg unfolds in front of us. Everything happens so suddenly. It only takes 2 hours and 40 minutes for Titanic to disappear completely under the icy ocean. As you can see right there, that's the people in the blockbuster Titanic movie. It's the main people. If I were you, I wouldn't watch the movie because there's a lot of bad parts in it, which I personally do not like at all. I've watched it at one of my friends' house. I'm not going to mention their name in the video because I don't know if they want to be mentioned in any of my YouTube videos. So yeah. What happened next? A disaster, and everybody, we're sure you want to know and why it all happened. Different stories were told. There were reports that everybody was saved. There is even one story stating that Titanic was towed into New York and hadn't actually sunk. There were all sorts of rumors circling about because communication was slow in the early 1900s. And Of course, the sinking Titanic was investigating both sides of the Atlantic. Discover with us details. Inquiry is listen to the records and watch the re-indicated performance at the exhibits. Now, despite false news and gossip, and Harland and Wolff went on to many other ships. Titanic was known in the shipyard as number 401 because that's the bill number at Harland and Wolff, Belfast, were over 1,760 ships. So the story didn't just finish there for Belfast. My next story, Titanic story is really fascinating. Many people have tried to recreate it using their imaginations and their own words. Let's find out how Titanic has represented in the popular circulating and folklore in the different books and films, myths and legends. The first film came out in 1914. There was a wartime propaganda film brought out in 1943 on the historically in the historical documentary A Night to Remember in 1958, and of course the more familiar 1987 blockbuster here in Titanic Belfast. That's really about what is true or false about Titanic's epic story. Sorry guys, one sec. Come on, Mel. I need to just get out of this room. I'm doing it right now.
Is your PlayStation on?
No, it's not not PlayStation. It's an Xbox.
Is it on?
It's on, but can you just please go right now because I'm getting disrupted. I'm gonna switch it off. I'm literally gonna play on it like right after I like get on. Okay, so this finished, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is what it is now. This is basically the map and what's there now. So this is what to see. Okay, so this is what's there. So what's there is Bristol 401, Titanic store, tickets and info, the Gallery Cafe, coach entrance. Start here. You start here. Photo capture. The women's toilets, the men's toilets. Main entrance. Drawing office entrance. Level 1. And I'm not going to talk about these parts. Okay, so I'm going to read to you about all these. Boomtown, Belfast. And guys, if you didn't know, in the actual Titanic Museum, you can go on like a roller coaster thing. Well, it's not roller coaster, but it's really slow. And it like takes you around what it was like in the Titanic days. So I think that's amazing. So anyway, Boomtown, Belfast. Explore Belfast booming in ruse while Titanic was built. In the thriving city, you try your hand communicating macaroni device like you one on used on Titanic and witness the conversation between James the butcher and his colleague. You know, I said macaroni, it's actually Marconi, but Marconi room is where you tap your SOS. I call it macaroni room, just for jokes. I actually don't find it funny at all. I just call it macaroni room. The shipyard, the ride. It's called the shipyard. Explore blueprints of the Titanic and test your skills. Interactive floor. Look at the scale of the a roll gantry and imagine the heights of Titanic. The lift level for feel the heat of steel and rivers and work at the ride. Cues possible. So cues are possible. Okay, so the launch. This is what the pictures look like. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, launch. Transport yourself on 12:13 p.m. 31st of May 1911 to the site where Titanic was built. Soak up the atmosphere in the here and intake your breath which Titanic was into the water. Imagine the historic slipways dock in the bygone with era, the 3D model and the floor map, the fit out. Explore the ship's boiler room and staircase and up to the bridge and the 3D tour. Get to know passengers' quarters of Titanic. Discover cabins, the fabrics, the concrete. To listen to the music of Wallace and Hartley's band, and passengers would have enjoyed it. The maiden voyage. Follow Titanic's route, meet some of the ship's characters, and see what life was like on board through the Father Brownies, which it imagines walk on decks and hold the rail to feel the vibrations as the ship crosses the Atlantic. Meet our first-class steward preparing for his next service in the elegant Palm Court Cafe. The sinking. Take yourself to 11:40 p.m. on the 14th of April 1912. Titanic tragically hit the iceberg. Feel the atmosphere change, the darkness falls. Listen to the survivors and their stories, and read all about it in the world's media. The aftermath. Follow the wall of the white lifeboats down to level 3 and the life-size replica lifeboat. Here witness testify and requires in Titanic tragic sinking aboard the trade plan in the British Inquiry and investigate whether you have any links to Titanic's story through the databases of passengers. Okay. Myths and reality. Look beneath the H&W cranes and modern times to see how significant of the Titanic story is captured in the world's imagination through film, theatre, and literature. Test your knowledge through an interactive quiz. Titanic Beneath. Explore Titanic wreck with Dr. Ballard. Team to take yourself control remotely operated underwater, and the vehicle ROV to explore the debris and field yourself and stand on the glass of the floor to see the Titanic She disappears today, passing beneath you. Continue to level 1 to explore the ocean's OEC and see what's the life beneath the surface on the local coastlines and exit via level 1. So that is all this done. So now time to show you, is there any more things in here? No, so now time to show you the key rings. So on my school bag is a burnout right skin. So first you have a deep sea diver, then you have the Titanic itself, and then you have Titanic Belfast. So remember guys, this is Titanic Belfast. Bye guys!